there, Cordell's there. Perfect. If you still have library business to attend to, do not worry, fear not. We are going to make sure that we get you that book before the end of class. But right now we need 100% of believers with their books in their desk. They're heading on their orange sheet, just like my middle section right now has 100%. With a raised hand, who could tell me when we get a cardstock colored note sheet like this, what does that mean about it? What does that mean about it? Track, Deja.
They're very important notes.
Excellent and very good, Deja. What else does it mean? They're very important notes, and what else does that mean? Push yourself, Dariana and Nina. I think you probably know this too. Katara? Keep them in your binder for a day? Keep them in your binder for forever. Very good, because these are notes that we need. Awesome. We're going to be talking about something called plot. Raise your hand if you've heard of plot before. If you've heard of plot before. Very good. Hands go down. Plot consists of the events. Please fill this in with me. Events. Perfect. Havan's filling that in. Ronell's filling that in. Of a story. We just started our very first novel, so we wanted to talk about plot because right now we are in the middle of the very beginning part of our story that we're going to be talking about in a second. If you guys could flip down to the bottom page, it says conflict is the blank in the story. Excuse me, the conflict is the, ooh, I love that people have some prior knowledge and already think they might want to fill it in. John?
Thank you, Ms. Nunn.
You're welcome.
The conflict is the problem.
Excellent. Please fill that in. It's the problem. And without conflict, there is no story. Now you might be like, wait a second, Miss Lally, I thought we were talking about plot. Why are you talking about conflict all of a sudden? These two things actually go together. The plot is the events, which is basically just how does the problem go. Giving a point to Team Malcolm X because of their strong spark. Go ahead and double check your spark. Make sure your chair is pushed all the way in, your head's up, your pencil straight, looking just like Mr. Darby. Beautiful. All right. We're going to watch a little example of what plot looks like in a movie you may have heard of. Snap if you've ever heard Aladdin. Awesome. All right, so as we watch, I want you to be thinking about the different parts of the problem and the events of what happens. Be prepared to pause at any moment and answer some questions. Great. Please send Ms. Kubak, the birthday girl, some energy and to...
Sing a story we're all familiar with, Disney's Aladdin. The first part or beginning is called the exposition. The first thing the exposition does is to introduce the important characters. In Aladdin, this would be our main character, Aladdin, Jasmine, Iago and Jafar, Abu, and the Sultan. The exposition also gives an initial description of the setting. This is not only where the story takes place, but also when it takes place and the customs associated with that place. In Aladdin, this would be the city of Agrabah. We don't know the specific time, but we do know it's pre-technology and the culture is Middle Eastern. The last thing the exposition does is it sets up the story. In Aladdin, this would be when Jafar gets Aladdin to go to the Cave of Wonders and get the lamp. The next...
Awesome. Flip to your notes. We've got some blanks to fill in about the good old exposition, but before we do that, everyone make a fake book with your hands. Fake book with your hands. Like this. Perfect. It's shut, though, because you haven't started it yet. At the beginning of the book, we're going to say the different motions. So as the book begins, it's called the exposition. So as you open your book, say it with me. Exposition.
Exposition.
Good. Let's have 100%. Try that with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Exposition.
Very good. We're missing 2 still. Own your learning. Let's try this so it gets in our head that exposition is the beginning. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Exposition. Deja, we need you. All right. That is the beginning. Fill this in. Of the story. And hands up. It introduces the, who is introduced in the exposition? Love these zesty hands. I do know that everyone listened to that video, so we should have our hands up. Who is introduced in the exposition? All the way to the back. Please track Cordell.
Characters.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Lally.
You're welcome.
Characters.
In a complete sentence. It introduces.
The story introduces the characters and describes the.
Good. Don't give it away. Very good. You were absolutely right. Everyone fill in characters. Very. And Cordell, you can pass it to the next person because you got them set up so perfectly. It introduces the characters and describes the. Call in a strong silent hand. Please track Cordell with your hand raised so he knows you're ready to be called on.
John. Thank you, Cordell.
Hands are down. We're tracking John.
And describe the. Setting.
Yes, sir. Excellent. Snap it up. If you agreed with John, you should be snapping as soon as you hear that. Setting. And they said the setting is the time and place. It also sets up the story. Very good. The next section is the rising action. Listen to